article in on yahoo.com saying that nursery cam captures dad checking in to make sure baby is still breathing, and the mum says, "This makes me love him so much." TikTok's gone nuts about it, saying how adorable it is that dad pops in, or her boyfriend pops in to check on baby. And the footage is shared on YouTube, on TikTok, which has got over 6.5 million views. One of the caption reads, "Dads do it too."
Question: why the hell did that go viral?
Well, because
I'm like, it's like we go back to the old tough discussions we've had. We contribute to half that kid. So of course you're going to want to care for it and see if it's still breathing, for goodness sake. It's like, come on now. It goes back to that old thing about, oh, you're looking after the baby today. Are you babysitting? Oh, it's so cute. You're looking at, like, fuck off. Like, come on.
But why is it that it's such an adorable and
I really don't get
incredible thing that a dad checks in on his kid sleeping? I mean, personally, I think that's really fucking patronizing.
I remember once, this is after Sebastian was born. So Sebastian was roughly about 11 weeks old, and Sandra left me to go to a hair appointment, and I had to go to a party which she was going to meet me at after her appointment. I think Ava was 3, Sebastian was 11 weeks old, and I had both of them, made it to the party, both kids, got there. It was like, "Oh, you made it here by yourself? Where's mummy? Oh my God, it's so cute. You were able to do this." And I'm like, these are my kids. I'm 50% responsible for the creation of these kids, so why wouldn't I look after them? It's like common sense. I know how to change a diaper. I know how to feed my child. I know how to burp them. I know how to look after them should anything happen. I'm a primary carer. So what are you trying to say to me here? I was like, as much as
men, we just go and hunt and gather.
Yeah. It's like, the thing that irks me, I think, with the whole thing is that we're expected as guys to be the modern parent, not like our parents were. Mom goes into labor, dad leaves her in the maternity ward, she has the baby, then he comes in later, whatever it is, and he goes to work, and then, she looks after the kids. We're supposed to be able to do everything, with the exception of obviously giving birth and carrying baby, as guys. But when you do it, it's like, considering this is how many years and how many generations on, it still comes as a surprise. It's like, it's 2021, for goodness sake. It's like,
that's a whole nother wider subject that I think we need to talk about, is the societal pressures on dads, because we still do a lot of what we used to, but we do all this other stuff as well, which is just nuts. But for me, I'll be honest with you, I've gone and checked on my kids every single night since my eldest was first born. I still do it now. I go and check on all 3 kids every night before I get into bed. My wife doesn't. I mean, maybe every now and then if she's going up, she'll check on them, and I'll say, "Have you checked on the boys upstairs?" "Yeah, fine." But I'll go make sure that every single one has just been checked. Not checking the breathing, no, because mine's a bit bigger, but just popping in and just saying, "Hi guys, making sure you're all right, making sure you're asleep, making sure everything's all right in here," and just walking out. It's not like it's not a big thing. I didn't realize
it's not exactly difficult now, is it?
It's pretty standard. You check on your kids before you get to bed, but apparently this has made this dad an absolute hero.
Which I guess not everybody would kind of stop and wait and just check that they're actually breathing. I do it with Scarlett every now and again. She's quite regimented on when she wakes up. So if there's times when she hasn't woken at that time, you do kind of creep in and you do watch and say, "Is she okay?" Because you kind of do get that little feeling of, is there a breathing there?
Anxiety. It's an incredible thing, isn't it? I'm going to use this story in my sessions in future when people come with crippling anxiety. I've had people come to sessions that have talked about their partners who constantly check on their children, and it annoys the shit out of them because they're just in an overdrive where it's check constantly.
Yeah. I've got a friend whose child is 4.5, nearly 5 years old, and his missus still has the video baby monitor pointing at his face when he goes to bed. how she has got some crippling anxieties, and he sort of dismisses it and lets her do it because he knows that is one of her issues. Like, she's worried about the kids. But I see it as slightly strange watching a 5-year-old sleep while you're downstairs watching the telly. But it's each to their own, isn't it? I mean, Penny, our youngest, has adenoid issues, so she's due to have those possibly removed in September. She was meant to have it done yesterday, but it got postponed. But so there is that sort of worry there behind that, because she's got, when she was little, she used to sound like a little pig when she was snoring, when she was sleeping. But now she just snores, so you walk past and listen, and you can hear she's like breathing. So, but yeah, like you say, anxiety is a massive thing, and I think that plays into a lot of people's checking on their kiddies, especially smaller ones, because it takes a lot to have a child. It takes 9 months to create the child inside mum, and then seconds for something horrible to happen, and nobody wants that. So yeah,
absolutely. I think for all new parents, and when you've got a small baby, it's that constant, and it's fantastic, some of the technology we have now that can monitor breathing and temperature and all that kind of great stuff.
Yeah,
but it's just in terms of the popularity of that video of dad going and doing it, would it have had that kind of popularity if it was the other way around and mum going in and just putting a hand on baby to check baby was breathing?
Oh, probably not. No, I think because it's not the norm, it's it's not the social norm, shall I say. Mum is always the protector of the baby, whereas dad is the bloke that goes out and does the hunting and the gathering and goes to work and blah blah. But I think it's becoming more and more than the social norm that dad does do that. But yeah, I don't see the hype behind that.
In a way, I feel sorry for the guy.
Well, it's interesting because you've made a bit of a point, which I noticed about the article on the video, was that the headline was like, and I know that it is a term that you use for getting footage anyway, but I sort of noticed the subtle use of the word capture, like man captured on video, almost like it's a secret, like that, that like, oh, I care about my kids, but don't tell anyone, right? Like that's, and I don't know, there was that sort of element of, oh look, my husband's not all alpha and isn't that cute. I don't know, it just, the whole thing I have found really weird that that people are so amazed by someone checking on whether their kids are breathing, because pretty much every dad I've spoken to, particularly the early days when my son was born, was like, have you stopped checking their breathing yet? And I'm like, no, I do it all the time. And they're like, yeah, my kid, like, you will never stop. Everyone basically told me, yeah, you'll never really stop checking on them. So I just think it's interesting because I think it's a normal behavior, but what makes it not seen as a normal behavior? So much on a famous video.
Wait till the kid sleeps through for the first time. You wake up and you shit yourself. Fuck. Quick.
Did.
Oh my God, what's happened?
We all did. Even now, Sebastian's
shit, he starts shaking them.
100%. I remember turning around to Martin and being like, has he been up tonight? And he was like, no. And I went, oh my God, I've not been up either. Like, ran in. He had just slept through. I scared the shit out of him waking him up. So he learned his lesson and didn't sleep through again.
It doesn't go away. Even now, Sebastian's 5. Sebastian's usually the second person in the household to wake up. And if Sebastian's not up at a certain time, obviously you're going through to make sure this boy is still breathing under that duvet that he's hiding under. So it's like, it doesn't go away. You still check.
But like Dan says, it does make it sound like something that doesn't happen. Like, you get things like, oh, Bigfoot captured on camera, Loch Ness Monster captured on film, dad checks on baby, captured on film. It's like, it's not like a mythological being that's, we're people at the end of the day, and we care for our family,
I'm going to start recording this. Man captured talking about children.
Yeah.
Hang on. Sorry, don't do that. I just take out my phone and capture it.
Yeah.
not to make everyone like hate me, but for quite a while, I have been blessed with a very good sleeper. And I tell you, there have been periods of his life so far where I've woken up a lot more than he has just to check that he's alive. Is he doing it? Like, yeah, like, and I think it's a totally normal behavior. But why don't we do it as a normal behavior? Interesting.
I can see Lee looking there because I know that Lee's child doesn't sleep well, but Scarlett from 2 weeks old slept straight through the night and never wakes.
You just hate him, don't you?
I can see the look of hate.
Just hate.
A lot of you are cruel. He's still.
Just hate.
Honestly.
My kid's nearly 3 and doesn't sleep through.
To be fair, you don't sleep either, Nathan, so it's like...
It's because he just goes in and watches Jackson breathing. Sits there watching.
Stands in the corner in the shadow.
But it's not captured. It's not captured, so it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You like the Babadook in the corner. Just...
Yeah.